Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Please consider liking the video and also subscribing to the channel and donating. I really appreciate it. That being said, Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. The fight's right here around the corner, but I'm telling you, man, the more I think about this fight, the more I have to say, I feel Tank Davis wins the fight. But this whole thing, Ryan Garcia, some people thought that maybe I was taking a jab at religion. And I'm not that kind of person. But I mean what I say about Ryan Garcia bringing Jesus into the ring and how he's talked so much this particular fight about his faith, about religion, about God, about praying, about, everything. So much so that my man said in an interview today, I gotta drink some water before I tell you this, right? Excuse me. Ryan Garcia says in an interview today, because everyone who's interviewing Ryan Garcia, every single person, they're all saying to Ryan Garcia that they can't understand why he'd want to take the fight. And they're also saying that the preponderance of people feel that Ryan Garcia is in over his head. They feel that Tank's stronger. They feel Ryan may have a little bit of a speed advantage, but Tank has speed too. And even somebody pointed out what I've been talking about is how fast Tank Davis's feet are. And Ryan Garcia said, well, I've had a vision. And in my vision and through prayer, I saw myself fighting Luke Campbell, Jorge Linares, Tank Davis, and Devin Haney, and knocking them all out. He's like, in my vision, God told me I was going to knock out Luke Campbell with a body shot. And he was like, and I did that. He was like, Ryan didn't fight Jorge Linares, right? But he's saying, and now it's telling me, and my vision tells me that I'm going to beat Tank Davis. I think Ryan Garcia's been saying around the second round he's going to knock Tank Davis out, right? So when he's being interviewed, right, the guy presses him and says, well, so when are you predicting the knockout? And Ryan's like, go look in the comments after you post this video. And everyone knows, and then you'll find out what round that I'm predicting the knockout. And he's like, but don't worry, I'll have my slingshot. And I'm like, okay, let's not take it to the stupid here. Ryan Garcia is suggesting that he's David and Tank Davis is Goliath. Now, I'm going to say this, and Tank Davis said this. They're evenly matched. Whether you guys agree with that and you want to sit there and peel the layers back, oh no, they're not evenly matched. Argue with Gervonta Davis. He said it's a true 50-50 fight. Those are Gervonta Davis words. Those aren't my words. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and say if it's a 50-50 fight, they must be pretty damn evenly matched. But my thing is, if you, Ryan Garcia, know you guys are evenly matched, if Tank Davis is admitting, I think I beat him, but we're evenly matched. So then how come Tank Davis isn't seeing himself really as David, and then Ryan Garcia is Goliath? Because Davis is the small guy. But Ryan Garcia, big, almost 6 feet tall Ryan Garcia, he wants everyone to look at him like he's the guy who's coming to the fight with disadvantages. Let me tell you something, man. Sometimes the disadvantage can actually be advantages. And you know what? I'm going to tell you who has the disadvantages in this fight. It's Tank Davis. Doesn't have the reach. Damn near close because he has long arms, but he doesn't have the reach. Doesn't have the height. You know what I'm saying? And physically, he may not be the stronger of the two. So yeah, Garcia has to cut down the weight. But if we're going to talk about David and Goliath and who needs to bring a slingshot in the ring to kind of level out the playing field, come on, man. Let's not take it to the stupid. Let's hold our horses. I'm going to say, well, maybe that's Tank. Now, if we get past the physical aspect of this fight and we talk about power, well, then if we're just looking strictly at power, well, I see two Goliaths. They both have power. One may have power in both hands, Tank Davis. The other one power more in the left. Not too much to worry about in the right hand. Not because I'm saying that, because Rolly Romero said that, because Tank Davis said that, because Devin Haney said that, and because numerous others who sparred Ryan Garcia said the right hand is not much to worry about. That left hand is the problem. Okay? Now, if we're talking about speed, I see two Goliaths. I don't see a David in here. They both have, their speed is beyond comprehension. So let's hold our horses here with this whole thing about David and Goliath. Now, if we're going to talk about being a complete fighter, well then maybe that's what Ryan Garcia is saying, where he's probably the one who everybody sees as the underdog in this fight. And since he's being treated as an underdog, well, in this fight he's David, and he has to go conquer Goliath, the KO artist, the one punch knockout artist, the mean guy, the vicious fighter, Gervonta Tank Davis. And really, Gervonta Tank Davis, everybody keeps saying he's the face of boxing. He's on his way, but he's not there. And I don't think this fight does that. I think it puts him in a good space. But that's a whole nother video, but I'm going to give you a little bit now, because if you're still hanging in here with me, then great. Go ahead and make sure you hit that like button. I'd appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel. Now, I'm going to tell you this. If Ryan Garcia pulls off the upset and beats Tank, let me tell you something. This is why I say Tank is the David in this, right? If Ryan Garcia beats Tank, he's out of here. He's going to be on Jay Leno, going to be on Conan O'Brien. He's going to be on probably Good Morning America. He's going to be on all over your screen. He's going to be on, what they call it, those, when they go on like a tour, but not a world tour. They call them like not a media tour. What's his name? Suleiman just went on one. I forgot what they called it. Not publicity tour, but he's going to go on a tour basically to all these countries, doing interviews and everything, right? That's how Ryan Garcia is going to be received, because he's the Goliath in that arena. He already has that platform. He's a social media phenom, right? And he's Hollywood. So he's already going to be received with open arms. Even if he loses, nothing changed about him. He's still loved. He's still Hollywood. Okay? Now, Tank, he's the David in all this, in my opinion. Right? When we look at this holistically, if Tank Davis knocks out Ryan Garcia, you think they're going to have him on Conan? Then you're going to have him on late night talk shows? You think you're going to take him and travel all around the world, doing like a press tour, a media tour, sitting down in front of all these different people to be interviewed and talk about his win over Ryan Garcia? They're not going to do that for Tank Davis. You think Tank Davis is going to end up on a cereal box? You think Tank Davis is going to get these endorsement deals and all this other stuff? He's not going to get anything. You know why? Because he's Hollywood. And because he's supposed to beat Ryan Garcia. But when you look at this holistically, Tank's the real underdog. If he beats Ryan Garcia, to me, Tank should receive everything that Ryan Garcia is going to receive. It's a 50-50 fight, right? That's all I'm saying. Give the Tank what they would give to Ryan Garcia if Ryan Garcia beats Tank. But it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an uneven playing field. Yeah, I feel Tank has a better skill set. A lot of people feel Tank loses his fight. I'm surprised to see that, but everybody has an opinion. But the real David and the real Goliath in this, if we're just looking at how the majority of people are seeing Tank and Ryan as far as competitors, right? people are going. Majority of people feel Tank is the Goliath because he just feels he has too much for Ryan to come and offset. Right? They feel Ryan Garcia compared to Tank is inadequate. But when we look at it holistically, whoever wins, who goes on, not just in boxing, who goes on outside of boxing to get this new fame, right? This new acclaim, and it's not going to be Tank. I don't care what Ellaby says. That's not true. It's going to be Ryan Garcia. And I just don't, I don't think that's fair. But at the same time, this is what we're going to see. It's going to be a whole nother conversation. Well, is that because Ryan's more personable? Is that because he seems more approachable? Is that because he's not on social media, carrying on like Tank sometimes? Sometimes the language and, the other day with the video, him and Ryan making the bet, Tank has, some of his little buddies there, and they really don't help Tank's image when it comes to being professional. Is it because Tank had this little mix-up in the law, with the law? It's a whole other conversation. But I really feel, and somebody say, hey, Tank put himself in that position. But I really feel the whole David and Goliath argument is a lot bigger than just Tank and Ryan fighting. It's much bigger than that. Okay? So that being said, I will say this, man. Underdog victories are less miraculous than they seem. And it can shed light, man, my eyes bother me, on how I think people can reinterpret their own weaknesses to locate new sources of power. And I think that's the case with Ryan Garcia. And I think the same thing with Tank Davis. When you really look at these guys and what they're up against, underdog victories are less miraculous than they seem. And I really believe that. So we're going to see how this fight plays out. But Ryan Garcia talking about he bringing a slingshot into the ring, he bringing Jesus into the ring, he's praying, he's doing all these things. Let me tell you something. It's a 50-50 fight. There's no need for all, in my opinion, there's no need for all that, man. You got to have some kind of self-belief. And Oscar De La Hoya, I think, has done I just, when I listen to Oscar De La Hoya talk, he doesn't sound very confident to me. But maybe it's because he's being realistic about what Ryan Garcia is walking into. But Oscar's been there, he's done that. But the whole thing just has the vibe that Ryan's team is emitting is that of devoid of confidence. You know what I'm saying? They just don't seem very confident. But I'll tell you what, right now, he's no damn David. When you look at this holistically, which is what this is, he's no David. If anyone's a David here, it's Tank Davis. Because I tell you what, when we talk about disadvantages, whether you created your own misery, you created your own disadvantage or not, when it comes to what's going to take place inside the ring and outside the ring, doesn't matter. The person who I think is, I would say, is overall probably inadequate, and I'm talking about holistically and and truly disadvantaged in all of this, I say it's Tank Davis. Because I truly believe if he clips Ryan Garcia, he's just not going to be out of here to a whole other stratosphere and getting to say and being received and lauded the way Ryan Garcia will be if he beats Tank. And that's a fact, Jack. That being said, y'all keep cool. We'll see if Ryan Garcia, if that slingshot helps him out. Personally, don't think that's going to help him out at all, in my opinion. But we'll see. And especially if he knocks Tank out in round 2. I'll be watching for that. You know what happened when Rolly Romero planned on knocking Tank out in the first round. Tank ran over to him and was teasing him. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans on 7 continents. Let me tell you, man, we're going to see what happens. I'm in the breeze.